Welcome, everyone, to this week's edition of the Weekly Sting outside Schellenberger Field. I'm your host, Joe Hutzler. We've got a jam-packed session for you today, so let's not waste any more time and get to our first guest, Mr. Ben Grossfuss of men's soccer. Ben, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for inviting me.
Well, let's go right to last night. Less than 12 hours ago, you guys pulled off a top 10 upset over number 9 CNU, a game that it really looked like you guys had control, especially in the second half. But I want to know from a player's perspective, you're on the field, it's a nighttime game, everyone's out here supporting you guys, a code red night. What is the atmosphere like in that moment?
Oh, it's huge. They're so loud throughout the game, and whenever we get tired towards the end of the halves and just hearing them cheer us on, it kind of gives us an extra boost. So it's really nice having a huge crowd for a big game like that.
Let's go to the first half, under 10 minutes to play. You get a tremendous chance after an awesome feed from Adam Reynolds on the first goal of the game. You pick up your team-leading fourth goal of the game. Take me through the play and what you saw and how you find a way to get open.
I just saw Adam get the ball on the far side and take a couple touches, and we just made eye contact, and it just seemed like the defense just spread apart for us, and he just slotted the ball through. I took one touch and just slid it home.
Things that you can't write
up.
Yeah,
you can't. Just the eye contact.
that's what it was. You guys have that chemistry as seniors. They tie it up. You go into halftime 1-1. It'd be real easy to think, oh man, number 9 team, they've scored multiple goals in each game this season. They tied us up, and maybe we just had to play for a tie. Why did you guys come out with a sense of urgency?
I think Yags gave us a really good halftime speech talking about how just to forget about the goal that was kind of a sloppy goal to give up. But we kind of regrouped in the locker room and talked about how we've never beaten them before. And it just gave us extra motivation to come out and make the fans happy and win the game.
In the second half, you guys were definitely the most dominant team out of the two, even racking up as many as 5 shots in the second half before they got their first of the second half. Were there certain adjustments made, or was it just the wear and tear of your offensive attack on their defense?
It was pretty much the wear and tear. Other than us getting more motivated at halftime, we didn't really make any adjustments strategy-wise, just to play our game and to be physical with their big man up top.
Less than 5 minutes to go, 3:31 to be exact. The game winner scored. Zach Thomas was amazing on that individual effort to get in. What's it like from your angle seeing that happen? Did you know he was going to score?
Oh, I saw it the whole way. I was in the replay. You can see me on the far side of the box, right by where the ball goes in the net. So it was pretty unreal to see what he did to those defenders and then be able to just calmly put it home.
You're with that guy every day. We don't know much about him to this point. He's just a sophomore, but he scores his first career goal last night. He's obviously a very large kid in terms of his muscle density. Is he hard to play against in practice too? He's got to be someone that's difficult to get the ball away from.
Yeah, he's really physical in practice, and he has all the foot skills you can imagine. And he loves to show them off at practice. And even when he messes up, you can't take the ball from him because he just uses his body to knock you away.
Well, great win last night. We'll get more to that later. Let's dive into Ben Grossfuss, the student, the human that's not the athlete. When you graduate, you're hoping to be a financial analyst. Now, to me, it doesn't sound very appealing, but that's not what I'm interested in. Why go that route?
I just really I'm really good with numbers, and as soon as I took my first finance class here at school, I just loved it. And that's just the way I want to go.
Do you have any place particular you want to end up?
Preferably in North Carolina, so Raleigh or Charlotte, but I've also looked some places up north as well.
Raleigh is definitely a booming town as far as business is concerned as well, and of course from North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense, and I'm not opposed to that at all. I'm always trying to find a way to get back to North Carolina. You like to spend time with your friends, you like to spend time on the golf course.
Oh, yeah.
Is that your way of still being competitive but trying something else?
Yeah, it's my dad. Growing up, my dad was a golf pro at a course in North Carolina, so I pretty much grew up on the golf course and made a lot of friends through playing golf. So whenever I can get out there, it's a fun time.
So growing up, you obviously had that, but you also found a love for soccer. What was it about soccer that intrigued you?
I think it's just the physical aspect of it, and I've always been running around, and I can use my running ability pretty well on the soccer field.
Yeah, it's a sport that benefits or rewards you for being fast as long as you can hold on to the ball too. So certainly has been a great choice so far. And for you as a senior now, you're off to a great start. You almost have as many goals now than you did the whole year last year. What's been the key to your success early? Because you talked about it before. It took you too long last year to get on the board.
Yeah, after last year, I kind of struggled last year all year to find the net, and I had to talk with the coaches at the end of the year about rethinking the way I play when I'm going in front of the goal. And so this offseason I worked on changing my shot from more of a power shot to a finesse shot. And now I think out of my 8 or so shots, I've hit the target on 5 of them, and 4 of them have been goals. So
can't argue with those numbers.
Yeah.
That's for sure. 4 goals, leads the team right now. You're also someone that wants to meet a leader in the business world, Mr. Mark Cuban, very eccentric guy that speaks his own mind. What is the overall draw to wanting to meet a guy like that?
Well, I like him a lot. Just part of it is because he's so into sports too, like I am. So I'd be able to talk to him about that. But watching his show, Shark Tank, he doesn't hold back. Like, he's not afraid to just say it how it is and tell you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right. And I think it'd be nice to get his opinions on a lot of things in the business world.
Do you think that's a key to being a successful business person, is not holding back and just saying how you feel?
Oh yeah, definitely. You can't be timid in the business world. So.
How do you practice that? Is there a way to practice that? Do you think you possess that quality?
I do. I think I do a lot. I mean, I could be better at it, but I'm not really sure how you really practice other than just doing it.
You still got some time to work on it, no problem. You already have the attire. I mean, he only wears T-shirts, so you're good on that part of it. Last thing I want to get to is back to the soccer aspect, and you guys have an ODAC game this Saturday against Hampden-Sydney. How do you get over the high that comes from a win like last night and focus on the task at hand?
So after last night, it concluded our out-of-conference schedule, and we completed our goal of coming into conference undefeated. And now we stress that it's a brand new season starting. Like, we have our entire conference record posted in our locker room of every team, and it's all zeros now because none of us have played each other, and it's just a brand new season now. So hopefully we bring the same intensity into this game Saturday as we did the first game of the season 3 weeks ago.
Well, I think we all hope that as well, and we wish you the best of luck on Saturday. That game can be seen on LHSN, 7 o'clock on Saturday night. Ben, thanks so much for coming on the show. Enjoy the rest of your day. We're going to be right back on the Weekly Sting with Lauren Stanford from women's volleyball. Welcome back, everyone, to the Weekly Sting. Joe Hutzler here with you. Before we get to our second guest of the show, let's ask you the Hornet trivia question for this week. And we go back to men's soccer for this one. With men's soccer's win over Christopher Newport Wednesday, it ended a losing drought of how many games versus CNU? We'll give you the answer in just a few minutes in the third segment. But first, our next guest from volleyball, Miss Lauren Stanford. Happy to have you on the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Let's dive right into your first season now as a Hornet for Lynchburg College. Last night, a tough one, 5 sets, losing to Mary Washington, number 22 in the country. But when you look at where this team was a year ago, and you look at what this team's trying to do now and build off of a very talented roster, do you find that is, it stinks to lose, but there's definitely some positives out of that?
Definitely. We definitely came out with nothing to lose, and we just wanted to play and compete against them, and I think we did well.
Was there anything, or is there anything in a volleyball match when you start out that is there a feeling out process that takes place because you haven't played that team before? You don't know what to expect?
Kind of. We get film, so we expect a little bit, but we always have to feel out how they like swing and serve and all that.
When you're in the moment of a game that you're playing a team that's ranked, you're playing a team that is supposed to beat you, how do you focus on just the task at hand and not getting out of your comfort zone when maybe they're winning a set or maybe they're getting a couple consecutive points?
We just take it one point at a time, and the next point is always the most important. So if you mess up, just think about the next point.
I feel like in volleyball especially, you really have to have a short memory. Is there any way to practice that, or is it just something that comes naturally?
Mental toughness is definitely a big part of the game, and it's definitely a learning process. So like when you're younger, you have to like build up.
Mm-hmm. You play the libero position, a position that is obviously seen easily in the stands because you wear a different color jersey, but may not always get the accolades that someone with a bunch of kills might get in a game. What is it about that position that you really enjoy? Because when I watch it, I see you hit the floor a lot. I'm not sure that I'd want to be down there scraping up my knees. What was it? What made you want to do that?
Well, I'm shorter, so I'm kind of expected to be that position. But I love defense, like digging the balls that the other people hit. Like taking away someone else's kill is probably the best feeling for me.
Well, I'll keep that in mind next time it happens here at home. When I talk to freshmen, I always like to ask this question. You don't have necessarily expectations from a year ago because you weren't here, but you do know what you did in high school. You do know what you want to do as far as your overall goal here at Lynchburg College. What was yours coming in, and do you see that taking shape now?
I just wanted to contribute to the team any way I could, and I definitely see that coming right now.
Are there specific things about your performance that you've been working on to get better at since the beginning of the year?
Yeah, I've been working on my serve receive to get better.
Okay.
Yeah.
What exactly have you been struggling with on that?
Consistency, like the mental toughness, just like get over it.
Is it a matter of placement when it comes over to get it back, or is it just...
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, understandable. It's a very important part
Yes.
of the game, obviously, and you as a freshman, you have plenty of time to work on that. But I also want to know, as freshmen and a group with a lot of freshmen, you know that you have 3 years, but what makes you guys want to do well now and not think, well, I got time to get better? You want to do well now. You want the team to succeed now.
With this team, we always say we're 20 strong, and we just want to do it for our teammates. And like Jen being our only senior, like we just want to do it for her too.
When you look ahead to what you think you want to do when you get out of school, you told me you wanted to be a strength and conditioning coach. Where does that come from? Where does that inspiration come from?
So I've been working out since like freshman year in high school, and I've always really liked it. And my conditioning coach said I'd be really good at it.
Oh, okay.
So.
Is it just because of you're really good at working out in the gym?
No.
So what is it about strength and conditioning coach that you have to know, other than just you can work out in the gym?
Like motivating people and improving their fitness.
When you are down with Coach Smith in Wake, do you watch him? Do you listen to him? And yeah, you're hearing him to do the right things as an athlete, but are you trying to take stuff away as well?
Yeah, definitely.
What is it about Coach Smith that you try to emulate?
His intensity, mostly.
Very intense
Yes.
and very intense guy. And some of that I think comes from his 32-ounce coffee in the morning that he always has to have. Other things that you like to do is two things that are very relaxing: hanging out with dogs,
Yes.
and watching Netflix. So I have two questions off of that, and maybe even more depending on your answer. The first one relates to Netflix. What do you like to binge watch on Netflix?
The Office.
The Office, really?
Yes.
The American version, or?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever watched the UK version? No. Okay. Well, if you ever get tired of the American version, which I can't imagine you would, check it out. It's only 2 seasons. It's not a big deal. Are you like catching up, or are you still watching the same episodes of The Office?
I finished the whole season, so now I just watch whatever episodes I want.
Okay. It's a good show when you can go back and watch it again and still laugh that second time. Thing is, you just told me flat out, I like to hang out with dogs. I assume you have dogs at home?
Yes.
What are their names and what kind of dogs are they?
I have one dog. His
Oh,
name
okay.
is Murphy, and he's a golden retriever.
Golden Retriever. Is that a dog that's been around for a while in your family?
We've had 4 golden retrievers in my life.
Okay.
Murphy's only 5 months old.
Oh wow, so still a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
So they're always fun when they're a puppy, right? Golden retrievers for your family, I guess, are something that you guys just enjoy based off of what?
I don't really know. My parents always just decided to get that.
It's just what you like. I mean,
Yeah.
they are a beautiful dog for
Yes.
sure. When I ask athletes who they want to meet, it varies. You want to stay in the volleyball world, and I feel so dumb for not knowing who Matt Anderson is after watching the Olympics this past summer. But you'd like to meet a Matt Anderson, USA men's volleyball member. Is there something specific other than the fact that you guys would get along with the volleyball conversation? When you watch him play, is there anything that he really does well that you really like him for?
He's a good leader on the court. He's one of the older men on the team, so he's been around for a while, so he knows what he's doing.
He does know what he's doing. He's very passionate. Every single time there's a point, he is the first one to get in that huddle and get everybody excited. Love watching men's volleyball. I like watching women's volleyball too. I should say that as well. Last thing I want to ask is in relation to the team that you're on. You've been at home a lot. Now you're gonna have to start going on the road a good bit. Has there been any conversation about that? Do you, as a freshman, do you worry about, man, I'm gonna have to play a new gym now and travel, any of that kind of stuff?
It will affect a little bit, but I think we'll be okay.
I think so too. You got a pretty good leader and good leaders on the team as well. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate you coming by. We're going to be right back with the Hornet Trivia answer and our last guest from women's soccer, and we're going to play a game with Elizabeth Oden as well. Right back after this.
It's on us, every Hornet, to stand up for one cause, to stand up against sexual assault.
To have the knowledge necessary to identify when sexual assault may occur.
To show integrity when confronted with a domestic violence conflict.
Where consent has not or cannot be given.
To create a community where sexual assault is unacceptable.
To provide service to survivors who need our support.
To embrace diversity and to provide a safe atmosphere for all Hornets.
Regardless of race, sexual orientation, gender, or ability.
To engage others on the importance of sexual assault awareness.
To value the tradition of standing up for others when they reach out.
To be consistent with our message, never wavering what is unacceptable.
It's on us to stand up to sexual assault at Lynchburg College. We are one nation, and it's on us.
It's on us. It's on us.
It's on us.
It's on us.
It's on us.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's edition of the Weekly Sting. I'm Joe Hutzler, and let's get you that Hornet Trivia answer. Last segment, we asked you, men's soccer's win over Christopher Newport Wednesday ended a losing drought of how many games versus CNU? The answer is 5, dating back to 2012, including a 1-0 loss in the 2014 NCAA first round. Let's get to our last guest of the show. It is women's soccer's Elizabeth Oden. Thanks for coming on the show, Elizabeth. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Let's dig right in. Last night, or I should say technically yesterday evening, you were able to make the long trip to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and come away with, in our minds, a pretty good win because of the trip especially, because of the travel especially. For an athlete, when you have to go 5 hours plus, what's the key to making sure that when you get off the bus, you're ready to go?
For us, it's having a lot of energy. So thankfully yesterday we had the opportunity to actually stop about 3.5, 4 hours in and walk around a little bit for an hour. But we knew as soon as we got off the bus, just being super vocal and energetic, that always gets us up. So long car rides can be hard, and we try our best to have a period where we don't sleep when we get closer, so we start to wake up and get energized. But for us, we're just all about loud communication, getting each other pumped up.
You guys don't have any problem with that, for sure. That's a really interesting thing you said about the not getting sleep the closer you get. I've been on bus rides with teams, and some people are sleeping until the bus stops to get ready to get off, but it makes a lot of sense to do it that way. For you guys in the game, 1-0 at halftime, come away with a 2-0 win. This team has outscored their last 5 opponents 22-0. You guys are scoring goals, what seems to be at will, but obviously it's not as easy as it looks sometimes. Is there something different about the team to this point of this year? Is it a mental thing that's allowing you guys to go out there and what, from our standpoint, it looks like you're playing looser than you did a year ago?
Yeah, I think last year we had the bar set high, and of course we came in after winning the national championship, and I think we just kind of put a lot of pressure on ourselves. So we were ranked really high, top 5 last year, and everyone wanted to come in and they wanted to knock us down. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we didn't have the season we wanted, but this year we have the opportunity to play like ourselves again. And I think that's doing really well. And the coaches and the captains and even the seniors, we're all trying to make this it's fun. We don't want to just be out there. We want to win, but we want to have fun while we're doing it. So
you guys certainly have the most fun in practice that I've seen, for sure. So it definitely carries over for you and your season now. Are things specifically that you're working on or have been working on to get better this season?
Yeah, I think that we're just, as a whole, just trying to make sure everyone's getting, sometimes we work on shape on the field. We try each game, they look at the film and see if there's something we need to work on, and we kind of focus on that for the next couple practices. But usually we just have small little things. We try and make sure we don't have a lot of big things to work on, but it's not too bad.
Not too bad, not too bad. Well, for you, when you are done here at Lynchburg College, you'd like to be a physical therapist. And one of the really cool things that I saw in your bio is that you'd like to work with the military when you are done. What's the draw to not just being a normal physical therapist, but wanting to do that for the military?
So I was raised in a military family. My dad and my grandfather went to West Point, so my hospital care was a little different as a child. I broke my elbow 3 times, and the 3rd time I actually had to go to physical therapy. Wow. So I got the experience to go into an occupational therapy clinic in the hospital and meet all these soldiers that were like amputees, and that's what really sparked my interest. I think it's so cool these guys spend so much time with the Army, protecting our country, that they should have the best treatment possible because they're doing a lot for us. So I think it's a great thing to get to do. Well,
speaking of military, there's planes. Amelia Earhart flew planes. You want to meet Amelia Earhart if you could, if it was allowed. You would like to meet her. What is the main attraction to wanting to meet someone like Amelia Earhart, who is in lore and in the American history?
My grandfather flew helicopters, so unfortunately I didn't get to spend a lot of time with him. And not that she flew helicopters, but she did so much for women on kind of breaking boundaries, and I think she did it in such a cool way. Flying is an experience that not everyone gets to enjoy, and she did it on her own as one of the first women to do that, so I think it's really cool. And I watched the movie they did on her, the bio, and I thought it was really cool. She seemed like she had a great spunky attitude.
Yes, it seemed like she did, and I'll give you, I haven't flown personally, but I did get to ride in a plane over the summer. So fun, so fun. Yeah. So I'm not going to try and make a really good segue to this because I failed on the last attempt. So we're going to play a game now. If you're ready for this,
Yep.
We're going to get back to what was started last year, and it's a game called Rapid Fire.
Great.
So here's how this is going to work. You are going to ask me the questions on your card first. I don't know what these questions are. I have 30 seconds to answer them as quickly as possible. Okay. And then it's your turn. Okay? Seems pretty simple, right?
Yep.
So let's put this down and let's get out the trusty stopwatch, aka Galaxy S7. And whenever you're ready, let me know and I'll hit it.
All right. Let's go. What is your everyday go-to outfit?
Shorts and a polo.
Which coach would you say has the most trouble with technology?
Oh man. He's getting better at it. He always wants to learn, Coach Kudelka.
Who's your favorite sports announcer?
That's a really tough one, too. I'm going to go with Mike Emmerich for hockey.
And then what deodorant do you use?
Axe. 3 seconds left, and I got it. All right, all right. Oh, man, I feel really good. That's a lot of pressure. I'm sweating because it's hot out, but I'm really sweating because of the nervousness that comes with this.
So you got to go quick.
Yeah, well, now it's your turn.
Oh,
so sorry for not giving you a bunch of confidence there, but now it's your turn to tell me 4 things in 30 seconds or less. Okay. You could try to beat my time of 27 seconds. No competition here, though. It's all for fun. We'll see how that goes. All right. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
And go. Where is your favorite place to hang off the field?
Off the field. Anywhere I can hike.
During a zombie outbreak, which one of your teammates would you want to be by your side?
Probably Camille Bartley.
What is your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, I don't know. That's hard. Oh, man.
10 seconds.
Probably when my shoes don't match my shirt.
What school are you most excited to play each season?
CNU.
Boom, right at the buzzer.
Oh, yeah.
Right at the buzzer. So technically not as fast as me, but
that's okay.
You know, it's all right. It's still very, very, very good. Thank you so much for participating in that. Thank you for coming on the show and enlightening us a little bit more about yourself. And good luck this Saturday against Randolph-Macon, finally playing in the ODAC. It's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show. Thank you all for tuning in to the Weekly Sting this week. Remember, we will be on the air this Saturday at 1 o'clock for women's soccer against Randolph-Macon, and then men's soccer at 7 against Hampden-Sydney. Have a great day. We'll see you same time, same place next week.